Hello amazing artists, this is Mr. D, and for this video I'm going to show you how to use geometric shapes and a couple of organic shapes to draw a bobcat. Now this video is especially dedicated to the students at Blythe-Bower Elementary because their mascot is a bobcat. However, if you go to Arnold or to Stewart, you can still draw along with us. There are two other videos where I drew a bulldog and a Mustang, and those are the mascots for Arnold and Stewart, so make sure that you tune in and check those videos out as well. Now you can see that I have a paper and a Sharpie in front of me, a piece of paper and a Sharpie. You need to have a piece of paper and a pencil because there are going to be parts of the bobcat we're going to need to erase. The only reason I'm using a Sharpie is so that it shows up better on the paper so that you can see it better, okay? So make sure you have a sharpened pencil with a good eraser, and we can go ahead and get started. So we are going to use geometric shapes, which are man-made perfect shapes that you wouldn't find in nature, and these are your basic shapes like circles, squares, triangles, rectangles. We're also going to use a couple of organic shapes, which are shapes that are found in nature, and they're more curved and flowy, but I'll tell you when we're making the organic shapes. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that your paper is portrait, which means it's up and down or vertical. And we're going to start by creating the bobcat's head, which is going to be a big circle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a big circle just like this. Your circle does not have to be perfect because it's hard to make a perfect circle. So you're going to make a big circle. Remember to draw light until it's right, because we're going to be erasing. It's very important to draw light because it's easier to erase things when the pencil is lighter on the paper. So after we have that, we're now going to draw some fur that's going to hang down from the bobcat's face. And to do that, we're going to draw two half circles. So I'm going to start right about here. I'm going to make a half circle. And right here, I'm going to make a half circle. And then I'm just going to close them off. So I'm going to draw a line down to connect those two, and then I'm going to draw a line down to connect those two open spaces. Now the parts that we're going to have to erase is this curved line and this curved line and then this part, because it's all interfering with the inside of our bobcat's face. So you can use your eraser, and I'm going to use my whiteout to erase those lines really quickly. And remember, if you accidentally erase a line that doesn't need to be erased, it's okay, because you can just use your pencil and go and recreate that part of the line. So there is that side completed, and now I'm going to use my whiteout to erase this side. And I know a little bit still showing through, but hopefully you have yours completely erased. If you were drawing light, it should be no problem to completely erase it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give the bobcat a nose, and we're going to use a triangle, which is a geometric shape. We're just going to flip our triangle upside down, and we're going to curve the edges just a little bit. So we're going to go to the center and move down just a little bit and create the bobcat nose. So we're going to draw a big upside down triangle with curved points. So there's the nose. Now the mouth part is going to be the part where we draw some organic shapes, because they're not really circles or ovals, but they sort of look like them. They just have larger curves in them. So this is an organic shape, and we're going to start right here at the tip of the nose, come down and make that shape, and do the same thing with this side. running into my whiteouts, making it a little bit hard. There we go. So there's our bobcat's mouth, or part of the mouth. And those are both organic shapes because they're not perfect shapes or man-made shapes. They would be shapes that would be found in nature, and they use flowy curved lines. We're also going to create some teeth using upside down triangles with rounded edges again. So I'm going to come right here, tooth number 1, right here, tooth number 2. And now the bottom part of the mouth is just going to be half of an oval, and it's going to be the bottom half of the oval. So I'm going to start right here, bottom half of the oval. That's going to go up to about, it's going to start at this tooth, go up to that tooth. And that's the whole mouth and the nose now. Now inside of these organic shapes, we're going to create 3 dots that are going to be in the formation of a triangle. So you can look, if I were to connect those 3 dots, it would be an upside down triangle. So we're going to create those 3 dots, and right here we're going to create 3 dots in the same formation. And bobcats have whiskers, but we're not going to have the whiskers overlap each other. So we're going to draw curved diagonal lines starting with this one. The curved diagonal line is going to come out to about there. Then we're going to go to this one. Curved diagonal line is going to go out to there. See how I didn't overlap those lines? And then for this one, it's going to go to right there. We're going to do the same thing with this side. Curved diagonal line. We're not overlapping. And so there are our whiskers. Next, we're going to make the eyes. The eyes are going to be ovals, which are geometric shapes. So I'm going to come to the edge of my nose, the right edge of my nose, and make an oval just like this. And I'm going to do the same thing with the left edge of my nose. I'm going to make an oval about the same size. This one's a little bigger, and I know that I'm going to be coloring these eyes in, so I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger just to match it. But if you wanted to, you could erase yours and make it bigger if yours was a little bit smaller on this side. And now I want to make some circles inside of my eyes for reflections. So I'm going to create circles in the same location for my reflections. And this is where you will decide if at the end of this video you want to take some crayons or colored pencils and color your bobcat, then you don't have to worry about this step. But if you just want to do some shading with your pencil, then you can follow me on this step, and we're going to color the eyes in. So we're going to start in the oval and color the eye in, and we're not going to color the circles because those are going to stay reflections. Now notice how I'm coloring everything in, going up and down. Because whenever we color, we want to make sure that we go one direction the entire time, and it will make our coloring look neater. So I colored in that eye. Then I'm going to come color in this eye. I'm going to go up and down the entire time. And there we have our eyes that are ready. And now we're going to go to the eyebrows. These are going to be organic shapes as well because they're not going to be like a perfect rectangle. So first I'm going to start right about here. And I'm going to make a line like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to make a line with curved edges like that. And now the top parts are going to be what's more organic because they're going to be flowy and curved. So you can create them really however you want. We just sort of want them to look a little bit like fur. So I'm going to do a shape like that, and then right here I'm going to do a shape like this. and my whiteout's still a little wet, so it wasn't working that great right there. And now the last step is we just have to give our bobcat some ears. So we're going to use the triangles, which are geometric shapes. We're just going to curve the edges again. So I'm going to come up here, put a triangle right there, and I'm going to come on this side and put a curved triangle. And inside of those triangles we want to put a smaller triangle. So I'm going to do that right there, right there. And now bobcats, on the tips of their ears, have little strands that go a bit that go up a little bit. So I'm going to start right here and make almost like a curved skinny triangle, and then make a shorter curved skinny triangle, and then I'm going to color those in, and that's going to be one ear. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, curved skinny triangle, curved skinny triangle, and then color those in. I'm going to make sure that this one is just as long as that one on that side, and there we have our very own bobcat. So if you would like to continue with coloring with a crayon or colored pencil, make sure that whenever you're outlining you're using hard pressure, and when you're coloring in you're using soft pressure. So let's say you were to use gray. If we were to outline in gray, you need to press down hard with your colored pencil or crayon, and then when you color it in you press down lightly, and that will just make your outline pop a little bit. I forgot a couple of places, or a few places, where we needed to erase just these ears. We want to make sure they're connected to the head, so we're going to erase those two lines and these two lines. So go ahead with your eraser and you can erase those. And now you're ready to either color, or you can just keep shading. So remember, when you're coloring you need to go one direction the entire time. So if you start coloring by going up and down, you need to color up and down the entire time you're coloring. If you start coloring by going side to side, you need to go side to side the entire time you're coloring. And if you start going diagonally, you need to move diagonally the entire time you're coloring. This will just help your bobcat to look neater. Okay? So I hope you have a great time coloring. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and goodbye.